Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good Monday morning. How's everybody doing today? If y'all ain't catch me last week, I reached 1,000 subscribers and I said I was gonna try to pivot a little bit. I was gonna go back to what I'm more comfortable with. So all the vulgar and the cussing and everything, I'm trying to minimize that, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put a filter on my mouth. I've been hearing a lot of my family members been saying I'm real ratchet. My message is hard to take sometimes because of the vulgar and the realness and the cursing and all that. But I feel like y'all need that in order for y'all to understand that. You know what I'm saying? I can't sugarcoat it. It's hard for me to sugarcoat it. I swear it is. But I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna try my new pivot and see does it work. I mean, it's gonna work. Now how much it work, I don't know. But here you go. So, as usual, how y'all doing? I'm Big Dog Barking. Relationship wealth coach. Investing in love and success. That's my tag. We're investing in love and success over here. I am a relationship wealth coach, which means is that I'm trying to help both men and women find success in love and financing. Because to me, they're one and the same. Business and personal. They're one and the same. So that is where we going right now with this. So just bear with me and just stay along with the ride like you've been doing. So before I go any further, as a relationship wealth coach, as a relationship wealth coach, I have to do my housekeeping. So as you enter the building, hit the like button. Likes are free. I surely appreciate that. If you like what you hear, hit the share button. Let somebody know about me. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I have a goal of 1,200 I'm trying to reach by April. So let's push and try to make it there. You know what I'm saying? So now I got all that out of the way. Let's get right into the topic. Men and women and communication problems. What's the battle? What's the problem? Cause we talk all day, every day on different platforms. We express ourselves on TikTok. We express our, well, I know a lot of women express themselves on TikTok. But TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Few little people on X and Facebook still, but them the three. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, right now. And we always talk. We try to have all men panels. We try to have all women panels. We try to have both sexes talking on the panels at the same time. And for some strange reason, the communication between the two parties, the two genders, has yet to accomplish anything. It has yet to accomplish anything in the past, what I'm hearing, 70 years, since the 50s, 60s, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But the communication got bad. And I want to see where it started at because I know, I have an idea where it started at on why communication got bad. But y'all got to hear me out. I think communication got bad around the early 2000s before you get into 2010s. And the reason I say that is because I would say 1994. I was 14, 15 years old. Me and my partners was taught to be competitive, was taught to be aggressive, was taught to stand on business. And the funny thing about it is, there wasn't a man to teach us that. Our mothers told us that. For all those that have an issue with single mothers and we were raised by single women and that's why we act like we act. Well, the single mothers that raised me and my partners, they told us to go outside. They told us to fight. They told us to get girls. They told us to get money. They told us to be young boys, young men. While they told their daughters to be agreeable, to not argue with men and all that right there. Now, you had some that would like to test the water, that want to argue with little boys and all the time, but overall, the boys were boys. We were competitive. We playing football, basketball, swimming, running. What's going on? What's going on? Like I said, we were competitive in sports. Football, I know football, basketball, and swimming. We played chase. We had to run around the whole apartment, 2 teams running around the whole apartment, trying to catch the other team. Baseball every now and then. We were real competitive. I remember one time I was getting my haircut at the barbershop across the street from where I stayed, and there was some coaches in there talking about how competitive the boys in my neighborhood, in the townhouses I was staying in, how competitive we were when it came down to sports. It was like, you can go over there and get one of them boys, and you guarantee to get a competitor. You would guarantee to get a competitor. We was aggressive. We was aggressive to getting money. Now, we wasn't as aggressive as some of the dope boys that was in the apartments with us, but we went to go get our own money too. They got dope money, we were getting other money. We tried to be fresh and fly. We had our Tommy on, our Nautica, our Jabos. You know what I'm saying? Back then it was duck head. You know what I'm saying? Wearing hush puppies and stuff like that. We had our swag going on and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But we were compared. We was always trying to best one another. Video games, shoes. We was always trying to best one another and telling the other one, like, you gotta catch up, bro. Do what you gotta do to catch up. We didn't let too many females walk past us without us saying nothing. We was aggressive. We stood on business. If you wanted to say something to me, come say it to my face. Don't send it through the hood. Come over, you know where I stay, I know where you stay. If you got a problem, come holler at me. That is where a lot of our demeanor come from, is being like that as young dudes. Being taught to be competitors and aggressive. Standing on business. While the girls were being taught to be pleasant and agreeable. So as we were growing up and the girls were growing up, they tried, they said they, had little slick stuff to say here and there. They tried us. They had a little attitude, a little small mouth and all that right there. They tried us. We'll laugh it off. We ain't like, oh, okay, whatever. You gonna deny me, whatever. But as we were getting older, them same girls that would deny us, call us names and all that right there, they end up being our girlfriends. Or at least a pass around. Because when me and my guy were actually to date, when we actually said we had a girlfriend, our relationships lasted 6 months or better. And these were teenage boys that could have 6, 7, 10-month relationships, a year relationship, 2-year relationship with girls. Because them girls that we was in relationship with knew not to violate us. They knew not to talk crazy to us. They knew this, that, and the third. They knew if they opened their mouth wrong, it was going to be a problem. They knew that. They knew that they stood on business. Even the pass-arounds knew what it was. They knew that them guys stand on business. If an outsider came into them townhouses to get one of our little pass-arounds, he wasn't going to come out there It was like, bro, you got 8 dudes at their door waiting on you to come out their door. Cause we don't know you. We ready to fight. We don't know you. And the girl would look at the dude and like, look, you gonna have to leave about this house sooner or later. If they take care of you, they take care of you. If they don't, they don't. But you gonna have to leave about it here. So back in them 90s, you had females that tried you, but the truth of the matter is, them females respected us. They ain't open their mouth. They ain't talk crazy to us. You know what I'm saying? They ain't violate us to the point to where it was a lot of DV going on. They didn't do that. So even as a young man and a young woman, back then the communication was the communication. If I stood on business and she knew I stood on business, there wasn't no problem. Anything she needed, she come holler at me, I take care of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's because they knew their place. They knew their place. Is that if I got this young man, this 16, 17-year-old boy, young man, by my side that's standing on business, who am I to get out of place with him? If he asked me to do something, I'ma do it. They wasn't finna get out of line with us. And this was when we were teenagers. And they was already knowing what the business was because they still had some type of feminine wiles going on. They still were submissive. They still would listen. Even though they were teenagers, they was happy to have a boy. They were happy to have a boyfriend. They were happy to have a boyfriend that would take care of them, that were gonna protect them, that were blowing their back out, that would sit down on the phone and conversate with them. They were happy to have one. Now it's times and changed, and we done grew up, and now, 1994, I was 15, now I'm finna be 45, 30 years. What I see now is when I be on these spaces, when I be on YouTube, hiding in the clouds, in somebody's chat room, on somebody's panel, when I drop a few videos here and there on TikTok and Instagram, what I've been seeing is this a whole change. And maybe this is why I be so aggressive and angry. Well, I ain't gonna say angry, but aggressive toward the men. It's like, I hear the complaints. I hear the complaints. I hear the grievances. I hear what your problem is with the women of 2024. I hear you. I hear you. But I'm looking at you guys that look like men and talk like men and walk like men, and all I hear is a lot of females, a lot of women talking. The octave's different, the voice is deeper, but I hear a lot of women talking, a lot of crying. And I done said this before, I hate a crying dude and I hate a lying female. I hate them. And I know hate is such a strong word, but I hate them. Because you're crying, you're passive, you're not aggressive, not assertive. You're not standing on business. You're too busy crying, talking about you want your benefits out of a relationship. You want what you want out of the relationship. What do you want? What do you want? And the funny thing about it is the women have always been complaining. The women have always called dudes broke. Women always call dudes little weak boy, little weak ass little boy. Little dick motherfucker. Them always been around. Bitch ass boy. I done heard that in the 90s, growing up. Just hearing girls in my school and hearing girls in my neighborhood call men weak ass boys and bitch ass niggas. I'd heard it. You know what I'm saying? They always wanted to have sex. When they started having sex, they like to have sex. And they still want a man to lead them. Like, bro, that shit been going on since I've been born. It's nothing new. What's new to me is the men complaining. But yet and still, you want to provide for women, you want to protect women, you want to procreate with women, you want to problem solve, but why is you complaining then? Why is you complaining when you still want to do all the things that women want men to do? What's your biggest complaint? They finessing you? Okay. I understand that you're getting finessed. You and somebody's phone labeled as food or bills or weed or whatever the case may be. I understand that, bruh. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I understand that, bruh, but what you gonna do? Not talk to women? You still providing for them. It's just that, what, you want to be the sole provider? You want your name to be your name up on her phone? You still talking to them. You still gonna buy them something to eat. You gonna buy them some weed. You gonna pay one of their bills. Be lucky to get a little poontang. It is what it is. When you around them, you still gonna go into protection mode. Especially if it got something to do with your life. You gonna go in protection mode. You still want to have sex with them. You still want to problem solve for them. So what's the problem? What's the problem? Because what I look at is this right here, this space that we call the space, that y'all call the space or whatever, it got bigger. It got bigger over the 5 years that I started listening to Angry Man. It got bigger. But the thing about it is the problem got bigger too. So that lets me know this right here is that no matter how big the space is getting, y'all not solving no problems. Y'all don't have a big enough sample size of standing on business and not doing this, that, and the third to make women stop doing what they've been doing since the dawn of time. You don't have the proof that what you're doing is actually working. Excuse me. Where's the proof? You have more and more men talking about they MGTOW or SYSBM, red pill or whatever the case may be. Y'all talk about this, y'all standing on y'all business, y'all not doing no simping, y'all not doing this, that, and the third. A woman can kiss your ass and go to hell. That's how y'all feel. Unless they willing to cooperate on your terms. And the funny thing about it is, the sample size ain't big enough for them to change. They ain't changing. They not stopping. They're not stopping. You can I don't care how many quote unquote leaders y'all have in these spaces, they not strong enough to stop them, stop women from doing anything. You know why? Because even though the space done got bigger, you always gonna have some men that's gonna listen to the grievances, listen to the problems that women have. There ain't no good men with money. Don't nobody want to protect us. There's no leadership. They ain't trying to please us sexually. It's gonna be dudes that's gonna go against the space to simp out for them women. They're going to listen to them women. They're going to cuff them. They're going to be in long-term relationships with them. They're going to wife them. They're going to have kids with them. They don't even care about the body count. They don't care about the extra LBs. They don't care about the money the women making. They don't care. They don't care. They're going to go against what you're standing on to be with a woman and don't care about none of the flaws. They're going to deal with women and not care about any of her flaws. And you will sit there because you on your high horse, on your soapbox. This is what you believe in. This is what you preaching all day, every day. We ain't gonna buzz. We ain't gonna do this. They gonna have to explain the adult industry. It's $1 billion business. Explain IG models. Explain OnlyFans. Explain it. You got so many men standing on their square, but yet you got so many women making money. And you can sit there, and men will sit there and say, oh, well, that's them simps, that's them suckers, they're going to pay for this, they're going to pay for that. They'd rather pay for that and have some type of fantasy than to pay for a date. They'd rather pay $20 a month and have all the fantasies with a female that ain't telling them no. They'd rather invest in their video games and their gaming chairs and whatever the case may be than to pay for a date. Than to literally listen to a woman's problems. They'd rather invest in that. So how you gonna stop them dudes? How you gonna stop them dudes that watch Fresh and Fit on the whatever podcast and platforms like that that have attractive females on there that's constantly talking about follow them on IG, here go my OnlyFans, all their social media platforms, and then they go follow them. They subscribe to them. They hit them up on it. They give them stuff off their wish list. They do all this right here. How you gonna stop them? The space is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but yet the problem still consists. The problem still is there with the women, even though the space is getting bigger. Y'all not standing on y'all business if that's what y'all plan on doing, is to stop women from being women. I still can't understand how you're going to do that. How you're going to stop women from being women. Show me the proof that it's working. They get put out. You jumping for joy when they get put out. They're gonna find somewhere to stay. Whether it be with family members or some sucker. They're gonna find somewhere to stay. Oh, they ain't making no money. They just got something between their legs. Like Lavelle Crawford said, if I see a homeless woman, that means her pussy don't work. They got some, no matter any small accolades or accomplishments you think that's working for the space, that you think working for me, bruh, it ain't enough to stop them from doing what they're doing. It's not enough. It's not enough. They're gonna keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And at the same time, they're going to still want what they want from me. They just didn't realize is that, hey, if you don't want to provide for me, I'll go get me a job. I'll go get me some money. If you don't want to do it for me, even though you say you want to do it, if you don't want to do it for a certain woman, guess what? She going to go get some money. She might get $50K, $75,000. You know what I'm saying? But she'll get some money. You ain't gonna protect her, even though you want to. She fine. She get a Draco. 2 or 3 pit bulls. She ain't hurting. She in the gun range 2, 3 times a week. She all right. You don't want to procreate with them. You don't want to smash them, but you want to smash them. She all right. Because trust me, if she wants some, she can get some. If she wants some meat, she can get some meat. It ain't that hard for her. And if she don't want no meat, she got toys. You don't want to problem solve, even though you want to problem solve, that's fine. They grown. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. There's going to be somebody that's going to help them figure it out. So again, the space is getting bigger, but the problem is getting bigger too. And the reason the problem is getting bigger is because the men that's in the space right now are not aggressive, are not standing on their business. They're not competitive. You got a bunch of grown men constantly crying to each other about the problem they having with women, day in, day out. And the women still doing what they do. The women still doing what they do, and the men constantly keep crying, talking about the women, the women, the women, the women, the women. Like, brother, they're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop. Forget about it. No matter what y'all say y'all gonna do, it's not gonna stop them. So, since we know they're not going to stop anytime soon, what do we need to do? Well, for one, the main thing y'all need to do is listen. Listen. Be an active listener. If you really want things to get better between the genders, both parties need to listen without taking and judging for whatever reasons. Women, y'all have to listen to these men that's complaining. They have valid complaints. They have valid complaints. Because y'all been wanting men to listen to y'all problems for I don't know how long. Is this y'all getting back at men for not listening to y'all when you said they wasn't doing right and they were doing y'all any kind of way? Is this what it is to get back now? Is this what we're looking at, to get back? And dudes right now don't know how to deal with the get back. Like they could dish out all these problems, and then now they can't take none of them. Is that where we at right now? So like I said, we have to listen. Men have to listen to women, and women have to listen to men. If we want to bridge this communication gap, if we want to get things right, if we want to try to get things back to normal, we got to listen to each other. Because everybody got a problem. Everybody want to talk about their problem, but is anybody listening? Is the men listening to the women? Is the women listening to the men? Or we just talking? Ain't nobody hearing nobody. And yet, both sides got the same problems. Both sides got the same issues. But instead of trying to listen to what everybody got to say, everybody's going to complain about the problems. Don't nobody want to get the problem fixed. It is right there. It is right there. Instead of running your mouth 24/7, 365, every time somebody open a panel, you constantly complaining, start listening. But I understand you don't want to compromise, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. I understand. Because women speaking from an emotional standpoint and you want to speak from a logical standpoint. And women have always been saying, I can't find a good man When they get a man and the man won't take care of his business, even though he want to take care of his, even though he say he gonna provide, and you get with this woman and he won't do nothing, and she complaining about it, is that the fault of the woman or the fault of the man? Because if that's not the woman you want to be with, why you with her in the first place? If that's not the dude you want to be with, why you with him in the first place? He ain't providing for you. Maybe you're not the one. Or maybe his bank account ain't big enough for the things you want in life. Which one is it? Which one is it? Because it's amazing that he might not be the one for you, then he get to the next female and do any and everything to make sure she happy. And the funny part about it is, you complain about him won't be a provider, and then you get with the next dude and take his little broke ass as is. You feel what I'm saying? He don't want to protect me. Well, is he a weak dude or is you crazy? Are you caught putting yourself in a situation where he have to protect you? Or he just a weak ass dude? Which one is it? Because in your head, he might be a weak ass dude. But for the next chick, he gonna be Superman. And the funny thing is, you talk about he won't protect you, he won't do this. But then your next dude you get, he ready to lay his life on the line for you. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, this dude, he can't hit it right. Is it because his thing too small or because your walls, you ain't got none? Or he ain't hitting the spots. Which one is it? Because again, that same dude you saying ain't hitting it right, he leave you alone, and the next female he get, she had orgasm after orgasm after orgasm with him. And the next dude you pick up after the dude couldn't hit it right, and that dude, you running from him. He keep you he keep you walking funny. So what it really is that, is it the listening or is it what you want? Cause like I said, men want to still provide. You just don't want to be looked at as no sucker. You don't want to be taken for no ride. Bruh. You do this all day in investments. You do this all day with property. You do this all day with gambling. You invest all the time. What is trying to, whatever, long-term, short-term solutions, you always investing. Then you look at a woman and say that's a bad investment, but you want a wife. You want kids. But you looking at women as a bad investment. There's no wifey material out there. There's nothing I can marry out there. And I'm like, all right, bro. So explain to me the dudes that still getting with females. You say they suckers. You say they simps because they in long-term committed relationships. They getting married. I done heard somebody say even the husband a simp. So just getting with a female makes you a simp. It's a lot of simps out here then. Because you still want to provide for females. You still want to do this, that, and third for female, but you don't want to be with a female. Unless she what? Can cook, can clean, have sex on demand. Possibly no bodies. That's the only person, that's the only woman you're going to provide for. Well, you'll never be able to provide for any female if that's what you're waiting on. That's the same woman you want to protect. Again, you're going to be waiting. That's the same woman you want to have kids with. Bruh, you'll run across a single mother before you run across that female to have kids with. You still want to problem solve, but you don't want to hear their mouth. That's what I'm saying. We still want to do what we're born to do on both sides of the field. We're still born to do what we supposed to do. It's just that to me, the men done got weak. The men done got weak. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it because the mamas kept them in the house. It's because y'all chose to stay in the house. Cause like I said, for us growing up, if we had to stay in the house, that was a problem. We didn't like staying in the house. Even though we had the video games and cable TV and at that time VCRs, the radio, CDs, telephone, landline. We had all that and we didn't want to do none of that in the house. We wanted to be outside. We wanted to test our mettle. We wanted to see how manly we was as teenage boys. To the point to where here we are now, 40s, Gen X. We set on certain standards that we came up with as teenagers that a lot of Gen Z and younger millennials don't understand. That because your ass didn't go outside. You didn't go outside. You didn't do nothing. You stood inside and said going outside was terrible. Participating in certain things was terrible. You couldn't play football on a team unless you got playing time. That's how you feel. Or if I don't get no playing time, I just go to another team. Instead of sitting there and earning your playing time, you just go to another team. Instead of going out there and getting what you're supposed to get, you want somebody to give it to you. Them problems right there by themselves. You waiting on somebody to give you something, and if you can't get what you want, you just go somewhere else. That's the problem. That's why them passport bros, you gonna travel. I ain't got no problem with you traveling. But don't come to me talking about you're getting a better deal in these countries that you getting in the United States. And I'm like, bro, it's the same deal. It's the same deal. It's just cheaper. But just because it's cheaper don't mean it's better. I done seen clips on the news and through YouTube and Instagram is that y'all brothers going over there and getting done dirty. Y'all going to these different countries and getting done dirty. Like, I could stay in the United States and got that done to me if that's what we're doing. You got the money to travel and get done dirty in the country you go to just because the price of box is cheap. I don't see y'all marrying these chicks when y'all getting over there. I see y'all having fun. I see y'all doing what y'all gonna do and go to the next country. Where's the commitment? Where's the ring? Because that's what the problem is over here with y'all, is y'all saying that women don't want to get married, there's no wife material, but where's the ring in the DR? Where's the ring in Colombia, the Philippines? Where's the ring? Where's the ring? See, the one thing that's going on with me right now is y'all let me stay in the house and study. Y'all let me go on these panels and be in these chat rooms and study how y'all really move. You swear up and down there's no wifey material in the United States and you travel, but I don't see y'all marrying none of them females in other countries. All that is to me is that it's too hard for you to get a female over here because you're not tall enough, you don't make enough money, your Johnson ain't big enough, whatever the case may be, whatever excuse you have on your lack of success with women, whatever excuse you have, and then you got enough money to go take a trip They see Americano come in. He got money, $40 can pay their rent for 4 months or something like that. And you looked at like a god. You looked at like a king. And somewhere in one of them countries you in, there's gonna be a female that's gonna take the king down. Cause she got the face, she got the body, she got the youth. She also got something that's gonna knock you out so you can get robbed. And that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is total deletion. Being found in a suitcase at the beach. That's the worst case. That's the worst case scenario. And it's a female in one of them countries that's ready to take you down. All she gotta do is gas you up and make you feel like the king you think you are. And gonna take you for everything. And you can't find it in the United States. You can't find that type of woman in the United States. They everywhere. Let y'all tell that they as loose as they ever been. So you mean tell me you can't find that woman over here that look pretty, got a nice little body, that got the little youth on her side? You mean tell me you can't find her? Or she don't want you? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one? So that's what I'm saying is y'all want somebody to give you that female so you won't have to compete. So you won't have to go against the Pookies and Ray Rays, the hobosexuals. You won't have to compete with them if somebody just give it to you. You are all on the same plane to where I can get the same female LeBron James get, or Patrick Mahomes, or whatever dope boy in the hood, or whatever fancy lawyer. You on the same plane with them high value dudes, them brothers that make a lot of money. You're on the same plane with them. You're on the same playing field with them because somebody just giving you a female, giving you the female you want without the competition. My boy, that ain't how that works. That's not how that works. And then you can't be aggressive like Gen X was, because then you're toxic. You're toxic. Oh, you're so toxic. You're a narcissist. You're an egomaniac. You get called out all these names just for doing what men supposed to do. You're being called out of your name for doing what a man's supposed to do. Like females don't like toxic men. Like a female don't like toxic behavior. They do. Why you think they like drama so much? Why you think they watch Oxygen and Lifetime all the time? They like drama. They'll tell you stop being toxic because they want to control you. That's all that is. And you'll stop being toxic. You'll stop being toxic so they can control you. And then when they get you and use you up and all that right there and throw you to the wayside, now you're mad. It's like, bro, you stop being a man. You stop being aggressive. You stop standing on business. You let them control how you were gonna be a man, and now they done threw you to the side. Now you're complaining. The women, I don't care how bad their attitude is. I don't care how much they cuss you out, call you out your name and all that right there. They still want a dude that's going to provide for them. They still going to protect. They still going to procreate, and they still going to problem solve. They still want that man. The attitude, that's a shit test. The body count, you got to live with it, or don't ask the question. You got to either live with the answer or don't ask the question. Cause some dudes are here 1 and freak out. So let alone hearing 2 or 5. Either don't ask the question or live with the answer, one or the other. But chances are you're not finna get that porcelain doll, that pristine chastity. You're not gonna get it. You're not getting it. You're going to run into a female and have at least one body on her belt. At least one. Women still want you to lead. Get in the mud and lead. Don't bark the orders and expect her to jump because you tell her to jump. She gonna follow somebody that's in the trenches with her. Like, you want me to be in the trench, you're gonna be down here with me. Be down there with her. But like I said, we're not talking. We're not communicating, even though we hear the problems on both sides, and the problems are the same on both sides. Nobody want to talk to each other. Nobody want to come to the table. Nobody want to listen. Everybody just want to tell everybody what's on their mind, what their problem is, what the issues is, and don't nobody try to fix them. Every time we come close to fixing the problems, somebody disrupt it. You don't have a disruptor that don't want to see things go back to where it was. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Anyway, like this if you haven't liked this, share this if you haven't shared this, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I will holler at y'all later.